Anyways, no, I'm with you. Hopefully he's in shape, man. I said it. I tweeted him last night. I said, hey, they're stubborn, man. Just go take a ride. You know the way. Go to Berea and just go, hey, let's go to the Winkin' Lizard, Ray. Let's go have some wings and talk, man. You know, I'm just saying. Let's fix that there. Because I'm telling you, I can see it being forgotten. And that's why I don't like your solution. Because that's what they've been doing. Is let's just fair catch everything. We're just not even going to try and return. Last night, they decided to try it once and said, well, this is why we haven't been returning kicks. Although, he was carrying it like it was a freaking loaf of bread out there. Jim Leonard had that ball one hand way up. I mean, I thought a fumble was coming when I saw him running. Sure enough, he hit the ground and their ball's out. I said, I'm not surprised. Look at the way he's carrying the ball. I'm literally talking to my son as he's doing it, going, no, see, that's how you fumble when you carry it like that. Boom, fumble. I said, see, told you. But anyways.
You know, that's another negative. That's a good point, too. That would be my third bullet point, is the way even Ben Tate, the way he was carrying the ball, when he made that catch in the flats and took it to the sideline and got the face mask penalty. Why are you carrying the ball like that? I mean, who does that? I mean, that's like out. That is old school. You saw a lot of old football players back in the 70s and 80s carrying the ball like that. Yep. You can't do that in today's NFL. Absolutely. So, yeah, that would definitely be the third thing. The way that some of those running backs and you know, Leonard carrying that football.
I agree, because they coach them now to strip so much. It's the biggest thing. Nowadays, guys don't even try for the clean tackles. They go for the hit to get the ball loose and stuff. It's one of the things that I don't like, but it forces them turnovers. Yeah, it drives me nuts when those guys just run around, one hand, ball up in the air like that. And as they saw, it can bite you in the butt. All right, Ryan, have a good one. Get some dog bones ready for the Houston Texans. And next week, next Friday, we'll get back into the regular routine of things. J.J. Watt, all the problems that those guys bring as the Browns look to beat the Texans and perhaps go to 7-3 through 10.
Wouldn't that be something, J-Rock? I will get everything ready for tomorrow. For next week. Everybody enjoy their weekend and watch that Buckeyes versus Michigan State tomorrow. And I will talk to you next week.
You got it. Have a good one. Ryan Ruiz from Dog Pound Nation. You guys can check him out, dogpoundnation.com. And as he said, Buckeyes and Spartans tomorrow. Let's set the stage. We'll preview that, talk about it coming up. Cavs back on the road here tonight. There's other NFL games. We've got a final segment to go. Don't go anywhere. Matter of fact, join me. 216-539-7535. What are your thoughts as we hit the weekend here? Browns victory weekend as it's going to be. 216-539-7535 plus Buckeyes, Spartans, Cavs, and so much more. Don't go anywhere. Final segment of the Sports Fix coming up next.
When you see me, you know everything. Brown and orange, brown and orange, brown and orange, brown and orange. Out on the field, you know them orange helmets shining. I'm in brown and orange, brown and orange, brown and orange, brown and orange. I'm rocking orange and brown in your town. Not about to be relocating to fan on these.
And now, a very special announcement from the Sports Fix.
Black bears weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. Brown bears weigh between 300 and over 1,000 pounds. Black bears run away from you. Brown bears run at you. When attacked by a bear, simply lie still on the ground and cover your face and head with your hands. When the bear is finished batting you around and mauling you, contact the U.S. Forest Service.
And that was a message from the Sports Fix.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the ninth, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet,
we can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing.
What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Ohio knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, this is Dean Chenoweth, head coach of Cleveland's Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, final segment of the, not just the day, of the week on the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you here as we roll on. Absolutely. Charles, I see you in the chat room. A lot of things going on this weekend. Browns may have got their business taken care of, but there's a lot of other business. You're right. Jackets, Blue Jackets, trying to snap that 6-game now losing streak. I saw that they lost Jack Johnson for 3 games here earlier this week, but trying to snap that losing streak. Charles says he's going to the game in Raleigh tonight. Carolina and the Jackets at 7 p.m. and looking forward to seeing if they can pop that lose. I mean, really, it's early season struggles stink, but it's so hard when you're in the longer scheduled sports because you got to keep that big picture, like the Cavs, which we'll talk about in a second. You got to keep the big picture. So you got to walk the line. You want to be urgent too because you've lost 6 in a row, but it's early too. Like that's a little bit of a tricky way to look at it because you don't want to just be nonchalant. I mean, it's not good to lose 6 in a row, whether it's the first 6 or the last 6. So we'll keep an eye on that here this weekend. Speaking of hockey this weekend, only one game for the Lake Erie Monsters coming up as they've got Utica at the Q tonight. 7:30 before they go back on the road next week. 1 game on the road before 3 back at the house in the middle part of the month. So just 1 this weekend. Monsters, Utica, 7:30. It's Thundersticks night, I believe, too. I don't even have it open in front of me, but I believe it's first 5,000 people in tonight get Thundersticks and, the traditional Friday night giveaways and dollar dogs and sodas, the things that they do at the Q. Always a good time. Get on down. And you heard us talk to Doug Plagans earlier this week. Some good stuff going on down there. That presentation. And Doug's not the only one that told me. I've talked to at least a half a dozen people that have checked out the Monsters last weekend with the Texas games. And the scoreboard and the presentation, and it's another level of hockey, and the Monsters have always been a good environment anyway. So get out there if you get a chance, looking for something to do tonight. Take care of that because Cavs don't come back home until Monday, so that'll be the only thing going on down there here tonight. Monsters, Utica. We'll talk to Doug Plagans about it Tuesday when he joins us before they head out on the road to Grand Rapids. Cavs, I mentioned them. They've got a game tonight, final one on this 3-game West. Yes, Larry, it's 2:09, and the Cleveland Browns are still in first place. Cavaliers have the final game of this 3-game Westie here with the Nuggets coming up tonight, later night. I love it. 10:30 tonight, which works out for me because I've got a football game to call tonight. I should just be getting back. I may miss the first quarter of the Cavs game tonight, but I'll be able to watch the majority of it. Thank you, schedule makers. So Cavs and the Nuggets tonight. Cavs 1-3. We saw a much better game the other night against Utah than that 20-point or 19-point stomping the game before that at Portland. Last second buzzer beater got you. I liked the improvements on defense and again, it was interesting yesterday. LeBron quoted Aaron Rodgers, tweeted out to everybody, relax. But he's right. Relax, guys. Seriously. A lot of seasons still to go. You know what? I don't believe, sometimes stats, don't really tell the story. ESPN Stats sent me this little blurb here, but I don't know, I'm not buying it, but this comes from one of those Uber stats departments. Says the Cavaliers may be 1-3, but they are defending like an undefeated team. They have the third fewest points per play as a team this season, behind only Portland and the Warriors. If you take out Cleveland, the top 5 teams in that category are a combined 15-3, which means that the Cavaliers are closer to figuring it out than perhaps you may think when you look at the statistics the way they are. I don't know. Like I just said, my thing with advanced metrics, I don't know, and I'm not familiar with that metric of fewest points per play, but according to that, there again, those numbers get tricky, but they say that I don't know. I saw improvement on the defense. That's where they need to get to work, and every one of them, 1 through 12, but only 8 of them are playing lately, but they all need to work on that. Improving on the defensive end is where this will come together, and offensively, it's a matter of just I saw a lot of things this week, and obviously selfishness was one thing that people talk about a lot, but I think that's a piece of it with certain players. I'm not even going to get into individuals right now, but I think that's a piece of it. But one of the other problems, too, is figuring out, and I saw somebody, I can't remember. I like to give credit when I hear people say things. I can't remember who it was that said it, but the point that they made about the Cavs was figuring out what to sacrifice. That is the problem, not who sacrifices what, but figuring out what you sacrifice to make the best overall performance. It's like making soup. You mix the pieces in and out, but still, you'd like to see that continuing. It's going to be up and down. LeBron said last night, he said it's exactly where I thought it would be here early on. And I mentioned my problems with the way they went about it the first game of this trip. I thought the way that LeBron, quote unquote, led by example in the second game, much more effective. You can still point things out. You can still front players out. You can still, I don't want to say shame them, but you can still use those tactics. But standing around and just watching 4 guys lose, that's not the best example either. And I saw a difference in that with Utah. So we'll see what they do here tonight with Denver. Let's look at things. Of course, defensively, and this is where I said that stat that I just read doesn't necessarily jive with me because the Cavs are giving up $102 a game. That can't happen. They have to bring that down. Meanwhile, a team that was expecting to have big offense is averaging less than 97 points a game in the early part. Those are the things that they'll keep working on here. It'd be nice to grab one here, take the back end of this. That would be good too, because you look at the way the road trip started, and Denver's a decent team over there. They're 1-3 as well. Defensively is where they're having their issues too, but they've got Ty Lawson, they've got a follow over there, Wilson Chandler, Fareed. They've got some guys. So, you're going to have to go out there and play, but it would be nice to grab this and show the incremental improvement from the beginning of the road trip to the end. Then you come back home because you got a tough one coming up Monday. You've got New Orleans, the Pelicans, coming in, salute the troops night at the Q Monday night, first time back home. So Cavaliers 10:30 tonight. Tip-off against the Denver Nuggets. Seeing the old Cavaliers friend J.J. Hickson tonight as he's over there with Denver playing center and power forward. Don't forget Delly out for 4 to 6 weeks, so Dion will come off the bench again here, and you'll probably see another short, limited rotation, 8, maybe 9 deep at most tonight for the Cavs. We'll talk about all of that, by the way, on Monday when we come out the back end of the weekend. All the things going on here and preview and look ahead to New Orleans. And then I'll tell you, Anthony Davis early on, he's making a statement, man. He's out there putting it down, rebounding offensively, double-doubles. He's one that's making a name for himself for sure here. So a lot to worry about there coming in. But first, take care of business here with the Nuggets. It's 10:30 tip-off tonight at the Pepsi Center. Late night Cavaliers hoops. As I said, I'm hoping to catch the rest of the first quarter there. I've got high school playoff football. I swear, my mind tries to combine words. High school playoff football. My first taste of it as the march to the state championship begins. I've got a good one tonight. I've got Willoughby South and the Rebels as they take on the Glenville Tarblooders. Glenville, we know about them, their success out of the Cleveland School District. Willoughby South has really come on strong this season. I'm calling it with Ray Malovic tonight on 13:30 a.m. You can hear it right on the radio dial here in Northeast Ohio, 1330 a.m. You can listen anywhere on WINTradio.com and on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app, much like many of you listen to the show that you're listening to right now. You can listen to the 1330 WINT feed on TuneIn.